Hello and welcome to Sandown Park to the National Honey Show in Esher, Surrey. My name is Bob Maurer. I'm chairman of the show, and our show is the biggest beekeeping convention and honey show in the world. So it's very special. This is our 101st year, and I'm here today with two very important people. One in no particular order, but because she's next to me, is Shelia. Shelia. I do beg your pardon. Shelia Collins, who is the Deacon of the Incorporation of Candlemakers of Edinburgh, and she's our special guest this year, opening the show and presenting our prizes. And we're particularly pleased to have you, Shelia, because you donated the most wonderful trophy, which will be presented for the first time tomorrow, which is for two rolled candles, and this is a children's class, so we're really pleased to be supporting and encouraging children. I'm also with Lynda, Marston, Weston, who is the master of the Worshipful company of Wax Chandlers, which is an ancient city livery company, just over 650 years old. Lynda will be telling us a lot more about that. Lynda and the Wax Chandlers have been patrons of our show for 31 years and are huge supporters, so we are very grateful to the Wax Chandlers for that. And we very much appreciate your support. So would you like to tell us a little bit more about the Wax Chandlers?
Well, you're absolutely right, Bob. We were incorporated in 1371, the only livery company of London under King Richard III. And I don't know if you remember, but when they found King Richard III's bones in Leicester under the car park, we were lucky enough, we offered candles for his re-interment, and they were accepted. And so our master that year had the honour of being in the congregation to see that event. We feel very privileged, or I feel very privileged to be master of such an ancient livery company. And of course, in the Middle Ages, the Wax Chandlers were a wealthy company because beeswax was incredibly important in those days. Nowadays, we are very active in supporting bee farmers, hobbyist beekeepers, and we love supporting the National Honey Show.
Well, we're very grateful for it. You have an interest also in sustainability, don't you?
Absolutely, climate change, all those things. And through a project called Pollinating London Together, we are encouraging everyone to look at the forage that they're planting. So if you've got a window box or a big garden, just think about planting insect-friendly plants rather than maybe some of those more ornamental ones.
So what sort of people become a member of the Wax Chandlers?
Well, luckily, we're open to anyone who's got an interest in the beekeeping world or sustainability, but also if they're interested in our history within the City of London, then they're very welcome.
Excellent.
Which always makes it nice for conversations, because you never know who you're going to be sitting next to at an event. And while some of us are hobbyist beekeepers, obviously it's wonderful to talk to somebody who's got a lot more expertise in the field of beekeeping or any other subject.
So you're about halfway through your year as master, aren't you? So
Quarter,
excuse me. So what really standout moments have you had so far?
Well, I took my sheep across Southwark Bridge between Little Bo Peep and the master fan maker. But I think the biggest thing for me was, well, there are two actually. One was presenting the altar candles at St Paul's Cathedral, which is a tradition going back to 1371. And the other was presenting apprentice bee farmers with the certificates. And there were 4 young people who have completed their training and are now venturing out. Actually, they're off to Australia to expand their knowledge, but it was wonderful to meet them and see their enthusiasm for their City and Guilds awards.
Fantastic. So you were talking about the wax products earlier, but you've got a very strange object here. Tell us a little bit about this.
Well, this is a landmine. Luckily, not a real landmine, but one of our wax chandlers works with wax, and in many countries where there have been a lot of landmines put down, there's a lot of clearing needed, because if they leave the landmines, to start with, they take a lot of explosive to explode them, but also terrorists have now learned how to get the TNT out, reprogram them, and use them for their own use. So this particular type of wax has exactly the dielectric property of TNT, so people can practice to learn to locate the mines whilst knowing that they are completely safe. Wow. Isn't it wonderful to think that wax can create something like this? That's
extraordinary, isn't it? Who would have thought it?
Absolutely.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Splendid. So Shelia, tell us a little bit about the Candlemakers of Edinburgh.
We're one of 14 trades of Edinburgh. We're on the lowest tier. There's a hierarchy of trades for Edinburgh that was set back hundreds of years ago, and that seems to have stuck. But we're a very active group, and we participate in all the light festivals of Edinburgh, ranging from the Gifted Tree from the Norwegians in November. We'll parade delegates out to the service and to the tree lighting with our lantern, and we participate in the Diwali, and we provide candles for Ashura, and the pagan festivals, the Beltane and the Samhain. But we also, this year is the special year where we've been able to produce a trophy for a very prestigious honey show, your own, and it's amazing. And there's a very cute expression in Scotland. They used to have bless their cotton socks. The children have come along and put a huge effort into producing some candles that are just beautiful, and I'm really pleased to see them have,
That's good.
Give it a go.
Right. Yes, and we've had some very good entries, and an incredible overall entry. Our show has over 2,500 entries on the show bench this year, including a large number of children's entries. So we're very encouraged by that, and obviously we want to see that grow. You're holding something intriguing there. Tell us about that?
Well, we had a wee tour yesterday. This is from an adult category for molded candles, and it's in the shape of an old poison bottle. So there's some history to that, and on it it's got it says, get my glasses on here. It's not to be taken. So the ridges on the wax from the poison bottle, assisted somebody to be very careful that what they held in the dark or something that they can't see is dangerous. So that was one unique, and it actually took some of the judges and the stewards back a little bit to see something so different come in this year. So yes, I had to buy one.
Good for you. Good for you. So how many people are involved with the Candlemakers of Edinburgh?
We've got about 80 to 90 members approximately. It's ever growing, and some members are quite active locally, and can be because they're in the area. But we have international members who join us on Zoom and come into the city or to other locations to join us for dinners or events and that sort of thing. Yeah.
Okay. And do you have a fixed place that you meet, or do you?
Yeah, we all meet at Ashfield, and that's on Melville Street in Edinburgh. And it's a museum in its own right. There's 3 separate rooms that house artifacts, books for people to have a look at. It is open for people to do research and to look at what is available to them, because it encompasses so much of the trade's history and charitable history of Mary Erskine. Mm-hmm. So it's an interesting place. We had an open house not long ago, and loads of people came in. The majority of visitors were from Edinburgh, and they had never been to the building before, and they were really intrigued. Oh, I didn't know this was in my backyard. So yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it, that these sorts of companies and the livery companies in London open doors to places that you would otherwise never get to. That's fascinating. Do you have an optimum number of people you'd like to see, or can you just grow exponentially?
Grow exponentially. Open to membership anytime. And, we even have a little category for the tea lights, anybody who's 16 and younger. Or under 16, and encourage them to learn about the history, the craft of candle making, the history of the trades themselves, because it is a larger family than just the candle makers, and it's the convenery is something that will bring interest of various trades that have been practiced historically for hundreds and hundreds of years.
Interesting. Do you have to make a candle to become a member?
You would apply, and upon applying, hopefully there is the interest in candle making, but people will come in with their own agenda and their own interests and own curiosities, myself included. The first meeting, if a new member comes in, we do have them roll their first candle, and we oversee that and instruct them how to do that. It's usually pretty fun.
Excellent. and I think you're the first lady deacon, aren't you? So that's rather special.
First female deacon in history, and there's 4 female deacons at present in Edinburgh as part of the trades, one of which holds 2 positions of deacon for 2 separate trades. And incoming will be a new female deacon convener. So that will be a first as well in Edinburgh.
Yeah, very good, very good. So do you guys have questions for each other?
Ooh,
That's a good one.
absolutely. You're challenging us now.
Oh, I am.
We could ask you a question.
Oh, go on.
There's, I've been coming to the show for many years, and what do you think has been the greatest development of classes? Not honey classes necessarily, but what do you think has changed?
Well, just in the recent 2 years, we've had a new class. Well, it's a new old class called the shop window, and it does what it says on the tin. It is you're given about 1 meter by 2 meters height to build what would have been or what is an attractive shop window for your products. And we did it last year for our centenary show, and we thought it would be a one-off, but it was so popular that we've repeated it this year, and the response is phenomenal. Some of the effort that's gone into it is terrific. So I think that's a good one. It's constantly evolving. For example, every now and again you have to retire a class because it's just not relevant anymore. And we used to have a photographic class for colour slides because nobody takes the slide anymore. So that's gone. Another one that's on the up is microscope slides. We have several classes for that, and this year is a bumper entry, so there's developing interest in the science side of things. So, but it's with any show like this, it's a slow, organic change. But without it, we couldn't. Without you, we couldn't do any of this. So it's a very important relationship, and we're very glad to do that.
We're both privileged to be here, aren't we, to admire the show?
I feel as though the Edinburgh contingent is so new in comparison to the history that you have with the National Honey Show. And here you are in your father's footsteps, filling in that role of master. So, and I was thinking, you said that there's been a record number of entrants this year. What was the number that you had? We've
got over 2,500 different entries on the show bench from about 260 different people from 27 different countries. So we're quite proud of that.
Brilliant.
And in addition to the honey show side of things, we have a fantastic lecture program that's going on at the moment, and we make professional quality videos of those lectures, which are edited and then put up on our National Honey Show YouTube channel. They're free, so anyone in the world can watch them, and they're our kind of educational outreach, and they've been viewed well over 2.5 million times, so we're really proud of that. Then also there's the opportunity to do hands-on workshops, and we've got a fantastic trade hall, all open at the moment, and all day today and all day Saturday. It's, although the show is largely aimed at beekeepers, there's plenty for non-beekeepers to see. So, for example, in our trade hall, you'll find people selling jewellery, cosmetics, china, mead, candles, all great place to go Christmas shopping. If it's £15 to come in on a day ticket, children under 16 come in free. But if you just fancied a jar of real proper honey, you can, and you don't want to pay to come into the show, that's fine. We've got a little stall in the lobby of Sandown Park Racecourse in Esher, and you're welcome to pop in, and there'll be some really nice honey to buy. So that's us. We're open until Saturday afternoon at about 4 o'clock, and we'd love to see everybody here, so you'd be very welcome. And there's ample free parking, and when you're tired of going around the show, there's a nice food court, so you can have a nice rest and something to eat. So please come and join us, and there'll be more of these live feeds going out over the next few days, so please press the like button and follow us, and you'll be able to see them all. So thank you very much.